record button.
I've done that.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Arlene. And hi to everyone out there. My name's Sean Christabel. I use Christabel, my middle name, on the site because it's easier. Now, I'm based in London, UK, and I'm talking to Arlene Martell in Canada. We are both very excited grandmas who play an active role in our grandchildren's lives. Hi, Arlene. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine, Sean. Thanks so much.
Great. Now, before we go anywhere, I have something embarrassing to confess, because I know friends of mine have told me about this. If you remember the first time we did this, I forgot to record it completely right at the end. I switched on the recording and recorded myself swearing. You know, it's the technology, Arlene. It drives me mad. And before I knew it, by the powers of Spreaker, there was a recording of me swearing going around the world. Friends have commented on it. And although it does have a funny side, I do hope I haven't offended anyone. Anyway. So, Arlene, we both got some exciting news. Your Shelby is having another baby. And my daughter, Poppy, is also having one. That's
really so exciting. Well, we both have granddaughters now, and my little Brooke, my granddaughter, is almost 3.5, and Shelby's expecting a baby in the new year, so probably the beginning of January, maybe late December. So we're very excited, and we know we're having another baby girl. And Brooke is ecstatic to be a big sister, and we're really looking forward to that. And I know Poppy is pregnant again, too.
You know, it's really strange, because Shelby had her first child 3.5 years ago, just 1 month before Poppy.
Yes.
And now Poppy's having her baby, her second child, in February. So they must obviously have similar cycles or something.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So tell me about this reveal party that Shelby had. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, well, we had a lot of fun with that because what we did is Shelby went for her ultrasound and got the results of the sex of the baby and gave them to her best friend. So she did not know the results. And then we got a big family get-together, family and close friends, and we had a baby reveal party. So it was like we had posters and banners up saying, he or she, what will it be? And and her friend made a beautiful cake, and inside the cake they put either pink or blue. So until they actually cut the cake, so Brian and Shelby, everyone's gathered around, they sliced a big chunk off the cake, and then down it fell, and inside was the pink. So then that was when we knew now that they were having a baby girl. So it was just a really fun party, and just a nice family get together, and a nice way to reveal the sex of the baby.
I think that's great. Poppy and Tom, they wanted to have a surprise. Like with the first one, they had a surprise. We were all convinced she was having a boy, and then it was a girl. And this time she's convinced it's a girl. So we'll see. Anyway,
we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, there are so many great things which, and this is really why I've created this site called grandmasdelights.com. I've set it up as a community site, Arlene, because there's so many exciting things that are going on with grandchildren and children, etc., and things have changed so much. And it's really a site for people to come and share the joys and sorrows of being a grandmother in the 21st century, which really is so different from the role that our parents had to play. I mean, one example is our children, the new mothers, have to go back to work very soon after the birth because life's so expensive for them, and because of the cost of childcare, we frequently have to step in as surrogate mothers and babysitters. I'm sure you do that, Arlene, don't you?
Yes, I do. It's so true. These days, I know my daughter Shelby, she works, and they have to work. They both have to work in order to be able to afford a house. And I do step in quite often as a as a grandma to kind of take over some of the babysitting responsibilities, and not just because I want to, but because it also saves them a lot of money. I know that Shelby here in Canada pays about $50 a day for daycare, and that's expensive. That adds up fast. So if I can step in like one day a week, I'm so happy to do that. In fact, Shelby phoned me last night and said, Mom, can you take Brooke to her swimming lessons on Saturday? So it's like, yeah, I get to take her to swimming lessons. I'm really excited about that. And then we'll go to the park and we'll have some fun. And then, we're going to have a fun day together.
It's lovely. It's lovely, isn't it? Because you have them for a short period of time and then you give them back.
That's right. And we have all the fun stuff at my house. I have this cupboard, and Brooke heads for it. The minute she walks in the house, she knows which cupboard has all of her things in it. There's a big, like a big Tupperware box in there, and it's full of her toys and a lot of her dress-up toys, that dress up clothes. She has a ballet outfit and a Disney princess outfit and a Minnie Mouse outfit, and she loves to dress up. So one of the first things she does when she comes over is whip open that cupboard and start digging for the costumes that she wants to wear. I love it.
So much fun, so much fun. And is Brooke looking forward to having a new sister?
Oh, she's so excited. She can't, you know what? She told me I'm not allowed to hold the baby. I said, okay, we'll see about that, Brooke. I know she's going to be so possessive of that baby, and she's going to be Mommy's little helper, because they're at the age now where they can really help and understand what's going on.
Exactly. It's so funny because Eden, Poppy was really ill at the beginning of this pregnancy, and so we didn't tell Eden until she was 12 weeks. But now she's so excited about it, and everywhere we go, she points at her mummy's tummy and she says, "She has a baby in there.
Aww.
I'm going to have a baby." She wants a baby sister, but whatever comes, it comes.
Yeah, that's right. It's very exciting for them. It really is, because they understand now what a baby is.
And as you say, they really are old enough to sort of actually be Mummy's little helper.
Yeah.
So it's great. But Arlene, we have to deal with so many things that would be have been rare in the past. For example, our children's divorce and how that affects their lives and our relationships with the grandchildren. Sadly, it means that we actually have no rights with regard to their care in many cases. And in some cases, we can even lose contact with them. So these are some of the issues that we have to deal with, and that I want people to bring to my community to get good advice and shared views, and best of all, an outlet for feelings. It's really hard sometimes, isn't it? I mean,
I totally agree with you. I know I have like the perfect scenario where I live close by and I have contact with my grandchildren, but it's not like that for everyone. No. And it must be tough. And I have friends who have grandchildren that live on the other side of the country, and they only get to see them a couple of times a year. Absolutely. So I know that they want to be involved, but they can't be involved to the level that we can. So you're right. I love the idea on your site of people being able to come and share their wisdom and their, what they're going through, and offer advice to other grandparents.
I mean, my cousin lives in Greece and her son lives in New York, and they've had a baby, and she sees it from time to time. But it's an expensive trip.
Yeah, really expensive.
Yeah. But Arlene, also the other thing, I'm really bursting with pride. Because the other bit of good news, which might seem a bit trivial in comparison to grandchildren, is my gold star. Have you seen my gold star on my site? I
have. So tell me about that little award that you got. I think that's fantastic.
There's a magazine called Grand, which is quite a nice little online magazine. They suddenly contacted me a couple of months ago and said that they voted me one of the 10 top grandma sites in America. I couldn't believe it.
I love it. I think, congratulations. Your site is beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
It's got everything in there that someone would want. And well done. Very good job.
Thank you. But, I mean, if you look on my site, Grandma's Delights, you can see it. So it's actually on the header because, it's actually a gold star, and I actually feel like I'm 5 years old, you know. And I have worked hard on the site, and I try to publish interesting articles. I do them every day now, and I've got this great book club and a forum for people to come and share, and it really is nice for my work to be recognised, you know. It's really terrific.
Hey, why don't you tell me about your book club? What was the purpose of your book club?
Well, the idea of the book club is, really and truly, if I read a book, it's really nice if we can talk about it and share the ideas and whether we enjoyed it and what we enjoyed best of all about it. At the moment, the last two books that I've promoted are both by the historical books. Now, I don't normally like historical books, but it's this woman called Hilary Mantel, and they're both Booker Prize winners, and they're about this guy called Thomas Cromwell, who literally came from being a blacksmith's son from a very brutal father. We're talking about in Elizabethan, Henry VIII, Tudor times.
Yeah.
And he rose to being Henry VIII's right-hand man. I mean, that at that time was just remarkable. And he was highly intelligent. He spoke lots of languages because he'd fought wars all over Europe. I mean, he's just a really extraordinary person. They said if he was put in a dungeon, after 3 days, all the jailers would owe him money.
Interesting.
So he was remarkable.
Yeah, I think that's great. I like that that you've done that on your site. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, I just, what I'm trying to do is, and also I want to work with people, you know, if they have ideas for things that they would like me to cover, then, you know, obviously, I would like to, you know, it's their site as much as my site, so I want them to tell me if there's something that they don't think I'm doing that I should be doing.
Right.
And that would be great. Arlene, the other thing that's been happening to you is, I believe, Victoria, your youngest child, isn't she? She's just left home to go to university. How are you dealing with that?
Oh my gosh, that was tough, I have to tell you. She's my youngest, and she just graduated from high school in June, and she went off to university. And the university, in order to get there, it's Vancouver Island, so you have to take a ferry, a 2.5-hour ferry across, and then drive about... it's about 40 minutes to the university, so it's not like it's that far, but it is an expensive trip to go. It's about $100 each way on the ferry. And thank goodness, though, that at the university they've got a bus that takes them right to the ferry every Friday night, so she can come home and as often as she wants to if her studies aren't too heavy.
But I would imagine that weekends are quite sort of party, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm sure. And her boyfriend goes to the same university, which kind of scares me. But you know what? He's a good guy, and she's a very responsible young lady, and she's taking economics, and he's taking engineering, and you know, they'll do well. They'll do really well. It's you know, it's spread your wings time, and it's tough to let them go, but they need to do that. They need that independence. They need to grow, and I've already noticed a big change in her in just the short time that she's been away.
In some ways, Arlene, you know, that's the most important role you can actually do. Is you've done all the sort of sowing the seeds and digging the land and all that business, and now you've really got to let them go and fly, haven't you?
Yeah, and thank goodness for Skype. That's all I can say, because she can ping me anytime, and I can ping her back, and you know, without actually having to get on the phone, we can connect really fast and easily. Yeah.
My daughter went to Australia when she was 21 and spent 2 years there, and thank God for email and cheap. There wasn't Skype at that time, but cheap phone calls and it was amazing, you know. She grew up so fast, and it was so good for her, you know. But it was very, very hard. And also, the other thing I said to myself is that if you let them go, they come back. It's if you try to hang on to them, they don't want to come back.
I agree, especially with Victoria. She's very strong-willed, so she needed to do this on her own.
And also you sold your house, home and downsized.
Right. Oh my gosh, that was tough too. That was tough. Like moving from we were in a big, 4-bedroom with 2 living rooms and an office, 2-car garage, and we moved down to a 3-bedroom rancher, which, I have to say I love. There's so much less work to do around here, and we just didn't need all that space.